Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, the German-American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER international flight from Zurich International Airport. Then we have a flying Zurich, Switzerland, Germany. Then coming back to Zurich International Airport, runway 14 for an Ilsloc localizer landing. Right now I'm in the cockpit for the pre-takeoff preparation of the PNG simulation microflight simulator X Boeing 777-300ERX. I'm going to start showing you the cockpit instruments, the displays, and the functions of the Boeing 777-300ERZ aircraft. I'm going to start with the primary flight display. The displays are the airspeed indicated, the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, the ground speed, the magnetic heading and traffic, then radio altitude above the ground level, the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere, the barometric altitude above the sea level, and the target altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. The vertical rate of climb descent of the aircraft in tens, hundreds, and thousands feet per minute, or the trigonometric angle in decrease. The steepness of the trigonometric angle is increased in climb descent. We have also the attitude indicator with the artificial horizon, the pitch line rate decrease, and the bank angle in decrease. Also, you can see the ILS localizer, the horizontal and vertical middle. And also the ILS localizer crossbars, the federated crossbars for manual guidance of the aircraft, and the autopilot crossbars for automatic guidance of the aircraft. We have also, so you can see here, we have the primary flight display, the navigation display, the autopilot and flight director system panel, the upper and the lower aircraft. We have also the pitch slider decrease and the bank angle decrease, the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies, and the ILS localizer frequency and name. We have the flight mode and auxiliary with the autopilot and the autothrottle, later and vertical navigation mode. We have also the navigation display, that displays the inertial reference position of the aircraft, the GPS position, the terrain and weather reflections from the weather radar, the terrain map, with the airports, waypoints, navigation fixes, ADBs and NDBs and ADFs, board station. Also we have, you can see the waypoints we're going to use for flying the aircraft, for creating a flight plan. Also the airports, we're going to use the runway. You can see the runway we're going to use for takeoff. We have the magnetic north pole and true north pole, and magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have the next waypoint with the need to find the wind direction and speed. You can see other aircraft flying around our own aircraft with a red, with a diamond symbol. You can see them. You can see the distance where they are located, the direction of the altitude difference with our own aircraft, and whether they climb in the descent. So you will see the TICA system, the traffic collision alert system, the advisories for other aircraft with the diamond shape, and the red warning. You will see. I'm going to show you how you use the transponder, the ADSP and ADC transmitter receiver to transmit and receive, transmits our own frequency to other aircraft and the air traffic control, and also receives from other aircraft and the air traffic control, and this generates the transponder system. They gives the information about other aircraft and where they fly, like in the radar screen you can see here in the navigation display. So we also have we're gonna use you can see also the terrain over here with colors, red, yellow, green, depending on the altitude difference from our own aircraft. The terrain, the elevation in thousands of feet also is displayed. You can see the sea, lake, rivers. So we have also, we're gonna use the flight management computers. Over here you can see we have 1, 2, the left, the right, and the backup one. We have 3 flight management computers, FMC, with their arms in the U control display unit. So we're gonna use them to input all the data we need for flying the aircraft. We're gonna input, we're also gonna create a flight plan using the flight management computer. And this is gonna be displayed in the navigation display with a purple line. We have already created one, so I'm gonna show you that also. So we're gonna create a flight plan. It will look like this. You will see here the one I created now. You can see this purple line. We're gonna have to take off this way, climb through here, and then return back and land. So the aircraft will navigate itself automatically or manually using our own navigation. So you can see how far away we're gonna be, the time we have to be, the altitude, the airspeed we have to fly. So you can see the flight plan here created. Also here so you can see the waypoints here as I showed you before, how we create the flight plan. So we're gonna input all the data of the aircraft for flight. That includes the takeoff, the gross takeoff weight. That includes the empty weight plus the passenger plus the cargo plus the fuel on board, the trip fuel, the reserve fuel, and the taxi fuel. We're gonna have the calculations about the takeoff speeds of the aircraft, the mean aerodynamic chord position of the aircraft through the center of gravity, the mean aerodynamic chord of the forward wings is the position where the maximum aerodynamic lift occurs, also the position where the stall of the top surface of the wings occurs. The airflow becomes detached from the top of the wings, and we have the stall of the aircraft. So we're gonna see the stall symbol also in the primary flight display. We have to pay attention to avoid the stalling. So we're gonna have also the center of gravity. The axis of that is gonna give us the longitudinal axis and the horizontal tail trim stabilizer position for takeoff, and then for flying, from climb, cruise, descent, approach, and landing. During the whole flight, we're gonna have the horizontal tail of the aircraft trimmed automatically using the autopilot flight director system or manually using our own. You can see we can trim the horizontal tail like this of the aircraft, pitching up and pitching down. We have the horizontal tail trim here like this, and here you can see how many degrees we have the horizontal tail trimmed up and down. Also we're going to use this trim tab, so when we fly we use this and also the elevator up and down. We use also ailerons and spoilers left and right and rudder pedals. So you're gonna see also that you can see here we have the horizontal tail, the view of the aircraft, and this is the horizontal tail position over here. So we can trim this surface as we fly, trim it up or trim it down. So we're gonna have also all this data. This is gonna give us also, we're gonna use the flaps for takeoff like 15 degrees, and this is gonna give us the takeoff speeds. We're using the runway we're gonna have for takeoff. The runway data is gonna give us the takeoff speeds, the V1, V-rotate, and the V2. We're gonna select the runway using the database of the flight management computer for departure, runway 14. The runway length, the runway slope, the conditions of the runway, if it decides dry or wet, if we have the wind direction and speed, also the slope of the runway. We have other data, the temperature of the air, the pressure of the air, and the density. So we're gonna have the takeoff speeds, and then during the whole flight it's gonna calculate the flight speed of the aircraft, the airspeed necessary for flying the aircraft. Also depending on the attitude of the aircraft in flight, whether it climbs, descends, or cruise, or the flap settings or landing gear extender recharge. So we're gonna have also this fed up to the flight to the autopilot flight director system panel, VNAV and VNAV navigation. I'm gonna show you also that. So we're gonna create a flight plan using the flight management computer flight plan creator. We're gonna create a route or flight path for the aircraft from initial climb to the cruise level, cruise, descent, approach, and landing. So we have the departure runway selected. We're going to have the seats, the other instrument departures that include the automated horizontal and vertical navigation fixes and constraints, altitude constraints, and airspeed constraints. We're going to have them displayed in the navigation display. Also, we're gonna have the intermediate waypoints and fixes for the initial climb and the climb to the cruise level. Then descend for the destination. We're gonna select also the destination airport and runway during the completion of the flight run, and we're gonna have the selected runway for landing. So this is gonna give us the stars, the other terminal arrival, waypoints and fixes for the terminal arrival navigation, and the Lszh localizer frequency is gonna be tuned automatically. We're gonna have the Lszh localizer for the horizontal and vertical glide slope, and needless you're gonna see them also that we're gonna drive the aircraft into the runway. Also using the heading of the runway, we're gonna have it preset in the pilot and flight director system panels of the runway we're gonna use to take off and landing. So we have the same runways. I'm gonna show you also the autopilot and flight director system panel. So we're gonna have the same airport and runway for departure and arrival. So I'm gonna show you also that the autopilot and flight director system panel, the thrust levers over here, the flight controls. You're gonna see if I use the flight controls for steering the aircraft into flight. The overhead panel here, you're gonna see the electric, the hydraulics, the primary flight control computers, the ADIRU, the data and reference unit, the passenger oxygen, the rammer turbine, the lighting system and the windshield wipers, the wing and engine ADIS, the fire extinguishers for the cargo and the APU, the electronic engine control for the engines and the auto start system. We can dump some fuel if we need to lose weight. Also use the left and the right wing and the center fuel tanks and the fuel booster pumps, the crossfeed valves. Also we have the cabin pressurization system and the left and the right engine bleeder from the left and right engine that is supplied also by the APU. We're gonna have the APU start later, so I'm gonna explain everything about the overhead panel. So you will see the electric system. Here we have the left and the right engine IDG, the integrated drive generator, 120 to 200 volts alternate current for 100 Hz frequency. The batteries 88 volts for the 80 amperes, and the APU gonna need to start the engine. So this is the electric system, the hydraulics, the left and right engine, also the air pressurized. We need for flight control, landing gear, parking brakes, reverse thrust in the engines. So we need also pressurizer. I'm gonna use the APU, the auxiliary power unit, to start the engines. I'm gonna show you how to make an engine start. And we need pressurizer for wing and engine and the air conditioning and ventilation, pressurization system, hydraulic fluid pressurization, wind and engine and the ice. So you will see all the systems in the overhead panel over here, and the circuit breakers. So I'm gonna show you then the thrust levers, the flaps over here, the speed brakes, the flight controls. Then we're gonna make a complete flight from takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, approach and landing. So I will proceed now. I will show you the autopilot and flight director system panel, the autopilot gauges, engage switch, 0 for the left and 1 for the right, and gauges, engage switch. The flight director engages engage switch. Here to select mode, you can select airspeed, nautical miles, nodes, or max speed, and set the airspeed for that. The airspeed guidance in the autopilot and flight director system panel. This is gonna command. We have the General Electric G90 turbofan, which is engine installed in our Boeing 737-300 ER jet aircraft. On the left wing, on the right wing for symmetrical thrust redundancy. So it's gonna give the necessary thrust rating and commands to the FADEX. The FADEX are the full authority electronic control computers, one installed per engine, gearbox, dual sign and redundancy. One sign says the other takes over. Controls, monitors and displays all the functions of the engine, that is in the upper and lower ACAS and limitation control assistance display. Also the rating, the limits like the N1. We have the N1, which is low speed starter and has low pressure from pressure turbine here of the turbofan turbocharged engine. The N2 over here. The N2 is the high speed starter and has a high pressure compression turbine of the turbofan turbocharged engine. The exhaust gas temperature, the fuel flow per inch per hour, and other information. Also the engine start and engine start down. So this will command the thrust rating over here. Selecting this mode here, the airspeed guidance of the autopilot flight director system panel. We have the autopilot engaged and disengaged, the flight director, the heading guidance, the vertical rate of climb and descent of the aircraft, and the altitude select, the VOR localizer, and the auto land function. So you will see the N1 here commanded, which is the low speed starter. We have the low pressure compression turbine of the left and right engine, the exhaust gas temperature per engine. The N2, which is the high speed starter, have the high pressure compression turbine of the turbofan with the engine. We need the outflow valves also open here. From the left, we have the outflow valves of the cabin pressurization system that admit pressurizer air from the 5th and the 9th stage of the left and the right engine, or the APU. So you will see also we have other information, the N2, the fuel flow. So I will continue with the autopilot and flight director system panel. Also the autopilot and flight director system panel, we have the airspeed. So this will command when we climb or descend a fixed thrust mode, then the airspeed is going to be adjusted using the horizontal tail train stabilizer. So in maximum glide thrust or in either thrust descent, the airspeed is being adjusted by varying how fast the aircraft will climb or descend in either way. The horizontal train stabilizer position or the elevator of the horizontal tail to balance the aircraft in flight. Also, when we're cruising the aircraft in horizontal flight path, like in the cruise level or the approach and landing, we have the variable thrust mode to adjust the airspeed as we fly. We have also the ANAV and the VNAV, the lateral navigation and vertical navigation, the bank angle limit for the cruise level, the heading select node, the heading home switch, the vertical rate of climb of the aircraft in 10 meters and 1000 feet per minute, or the flight path angle in trigonometric degrees, the steepness of the trigonometric degrees the aircraft will climb and descend. We have the altitude select node and the altitude hold switch, the VOR localizer for the Lszh localizer approach, and the autoland function, the approach switch for the autoland function of the Boeing 737-300ER. Also, you can see the thrust levers, also the thrust levers, the flaps, the flaps, the flight controls. So I will continue now with the flight controls before I show you the main system of the Boeing 737. So you can see here, we have this side stick I'm using for controlling the yoke. So the input is proportional to the side stick deflection. You can see I can climb, I can descend using the horizontal tail here, as you can see, and then descend like this. You can see the tail also, the left and right, the ailerons and the spoilers. So you can see how we move the aircraft, flight controls like this. So we can climb, we can descend, also make turns left and make turns right. Also the rudder pedals. So we can move also here, as you can see, the flight controls, also the exterior view of the flight controls, the horizontal tail, the vertical tail, and the ailerons, and the spoilers in the left and right wing. So also all the flight controls function using this side stick here, the Logitech Extreme 3D. So you can see also we have so we can climb, as you can see, full aft or full forward, full right and full left. So you can see the side stick deflection is very quick. This is proportional to the yoke and the flight controls deflection. Also we have the horizontal trim here, the stabilizer of the tail, and the thrust levers like this for you can actuate the thrust. So this will command, as you can see, forward or aft thrust. So we can use both the same instance. The flight controls, as you can see, both sides are interconnected and move simultaneously the same. Also the rudder pedals for the nozzle steering. and the directional lights, so you can use it as a HODA, some hands-on throttles and stick, like in a fighter there. So you can see left and right ailerons and spoilers over here, as we have it from the outside view. Left and right, horizontal tail, up, down, and the vertical tail. So also, as I told you, we have the horizontal trim, the stabilizer here of the horizontal tail trim. As you can see, we can trim up and trim down the horizontal tail here using these small switches in the control wheel. So we have the control column for the horizontal tail and the control wheel for the ailerons and the spoilers. So this will balance the aircraft in flight and see how many degrees it picks up and picks down the aircraft. Now we'll continue with the rest of the aircraft system. So you also the overhead panel mechanism, start demonstration, the displays, and the flight management computer. We're gonna make an engine start and then we're gonna make a complete flight from takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, and approach in the end section of the video. So thank you, stay with me until the end of the video. So I will see you again later. So have now to see the systems. So the systems here you can see. We have an aircraft coming in for approach and landing right now. So we can see it. You can see in the display, in the navigation display, a couple of aircraft now. One is plus 9,900 feet, the other is plus 9,900, and another one, 3 aircraft, is 1,200 feet. We have 1, 2, 3 aircraft between the waypoints. You can see the distance where they are. So if we look closer using this, we'll see again the aircraft is coming closer, less than 5 nautical miles. So you can see the aircraft movement. We will have it is plus 700 feet. You can see it's descending, plus 400 feet. It's descending right now. Plus 500 is coming closer between the 5 and the 2.5 and the runway, between the 2.5 and the runway, plus 400 feet. So we're gonna have the warning in a couple of seconds. You can see the aircraft here. So here we have the warning now. You can see the aircraft coming in. So it's coming for landing, as you can see, and we track it in the navigation display. And also give us the air traffic here, the air traffic warnings. So we can still see the traffic warning here, and the aircraft symbol just landed in the runway. Have the runways here displayed. So I'm gonna see a little bit more of these displays. So we have here the primary flight display. You can see the airspeed indicator, the airspeed data selected from the autopilot flight directors, the component, the ground speed, the magnetic heading and track, the barometric pressure, the outside altitude, the altitude indicator with the artificial horizon and pitch ladder in degrees, bank angle in degrees, the barometric altitude that we are right now, the altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. The vertical rate of climb descent of the aircraft is 100,000 feet per minute. So you can see the aircraft when it's climbing, this needle moves up, when it's descending it's moving down, so you may have a positive attitude here. You can see also the flight mode annunciator, the autopilot and flight director system, the Lszh localizer, the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies. You can see here we have 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10 degrees, 12.5. 6.5, 17.5, 20, plus or minus. So you have to pay attention to that when flying. Also the altitude, the airspeed altogether. The main components of the primary flight display. So we're gonna have here a couple more things. We have the meters display, we have inches of hectopascals. You can see now the meters, 3050 meters or 10,000 feet, also 1013 hectopascals. We can use other inches of mercury or hectopascals. We have the autopilot here, flight director system button. You can see auto throttle left off, auto throttle right off, auto throttle right off, throttle right off. So we're gonna have also the airspeed set here, the modes. So this we can set the flight level change, deselected by pressing the flight director. We cannot select any mode when the flight director is off. Once we deselect flight director off, the mode here turns off, as you can see. So this is the way to disarm a mode, like flight level change. This is the way to arm it. So you're gonna see we have about 40 more minutes. The LNAV, the VNAV, you can set either mode like this because we have a flight plan created now. So you can see the LNAV, flight level change, flight level speed. So we're gonna have the bang angle, also the aircraft as we fly. The heading, select knob here. You can select a heading like 136 degrees. The altitude here. So these you can see are depressible. This one also. So we set the altitude like 35,300. And we're gonna have also the vertical rate of climb descent here later. So now we have 253. The target airspeed, target altitude 35,300, heading hold flight level change speed over here with the another VNAV also, as you can see. Flight director, so we can set also altitude, the flight director, altitude mode. We can set autopilot on, both of the pilots and flight directors on, like this. So now we have a lot of stuff. Armed, heading hold and nav, VNAV, altitude again. So we're gonna have the initial climb through this line, come back then for landing here, 253 again, 35,000. So we can set the flight level change with the autopilot. So now you can see we have the autopilot here engaged. So we have also the vertical rate of climb descent. We can disarm the LNAV with the VNAV, we don't need that. So it's now without LNAV and VNAV. We can set only the LNAV if we want, instead another mode, flight path angle here, trigonometric angle in degrees. So you can see this moving here. So we'll set it minus 3.5 degrees for a descent. So you will see displayed here minus 3.5 degrees. So the -3.5 degrees will be here, spotted here, this purple indication. You will see the pitch altitude commanded for a descent, or you can use more or less degrees. Also we can set it to 0 like this, 0 feet, no move at all. So we're gonna have the climb now at +3.5 degrees. So you're gonna have the climb here +3.5 degrees with the flight path angle over here. Armed FK, hitting hold. So I'm gonna show you most of the modes and the functions of the system. Also we have the vertical speed at descent like -3,500 feet per minute here armed. So you will see -3,500 feet per minute armed. So you will see the purple indication here. It's gonna command descent. We can set now climb. So we turn the other way, the slider, like this. So now it's plus 3,500 feet per minute. The climb body is here. So you can see the vertical speed, heading hold. The airspeed also. Now we're gonna have the target airspeed, the target altitude. So now maybe we're gonna disarm the autopilot like this. I'm gonna use this switch here. You can see the autopilot is off, the warning. You can see once you move this. Show you one more time. Reset. You can see the green light now is armed. So this disarms the autopilot. We have the warning here and here on both sides. So you see the autopilot disconnect. This back to rearm, and then show you another way to disarm the autopilot. We have this switch here in the control wheel. Press it one time. The autopilot is disconnected, as you can see. Red color here. Warning. Press one more time and confirms the autopilot disconnect. So you have flight controls after that. Moving. So I'm gonna show you also the rest of the systems, the overhead panel, the thrust levers here. You can see the flaps position. We can set the flaps up or down, extend, where they are positioned over here. Flaps extend and retract, how many degrees you have them. The total fuel on board, I told you about the engines, left and right engine, and one exhaust temperature, cabin altitude, the pressurization from the engine, total fuel, the temperature of the fuel, and two, fuel flow per engine per hour, pressure, temperature, vibration. So we have the M2, it's the high speed starter, have the high pressure compression turbine of the 200 engine, fuel flow per hour, and one which is the low speed starter, have the low pressure compression turbine of the 200 engine, the left and right. The limit for takeoff 104.6%. Some warnings. The exhaust gas temperature per engine. You can see when I'm moving the thrust levers forward or aft. You have the speed brakes. Extending the speed brakes will retract. So you can see over here the limit we have requested using the thrust lever position. It takes a couple of seconds for the engines to spool up to the commanded position from the axle. So you have to anticipate that when flying, or to spool down in the idle. This is also the M2 here. We have also a couple more things. The speed brakes you can extend when the thrust levers are at idle. Moving forward will disarm the speed brakes. Also, you cannot extend the speed brakes when the thrust levers are above idle. you have to move them to the idle position, and then you have the speed brakes extend. So I told you we have some indications here. We have the landing gear extend and retract, the speed limit, the alternate gear, the lock override, terrain override, some switching here, the auto brake system you can use for takeoff or for landing, rejected takeoff, the flap limit speed here that I use over here, you can see the flaps, the pressurizer from the left and right engine. So you have also other indications. You have the autopilot disconnect here. You press this switch, you disconnect the auto throttle. So you take manual control of the thrust levers, the takeoff ground, the thrust reverse. So pressing this switch back will extend the speed brakes and extend the thrust reverse. As you can see here, the thrust reverses, the open and the reverse the flow from the bypass stage of the engine. So we can disarm like this and arm them one more time. So you can see, I told you we have the radio communication panel, the fire extinguishers for the left and the right engine, also the fuel control for the left and the right engine, the fuel flow control levers. We have the transporter, we have the terrain and weather radar, the parking brakes up and down, and this is the trim stabilizer, the horizontal trim stabilizer cutout switch. So I will show you what they do. So you can see the trim stabilizer position. The green band is for takeoff switching. So this is the switch we use for manual trim control of the horizontal tail. You can use also this trim tab, and if you have a failure of the hydraulic systems here, the C1 and C2, which are air pressurized from the engine, so we're gonna have a failure of the auto trim from the autopilot radiator system, so you have to come here and disconnect from the normal to cut out these switches, and then you're gonna have only the normal here, the normal horizontal tape trim. So I'm gonna show you also a couple more things. So we disarm the thrust reverse. So I'm gonna show you now the overhead panel. We're going for, so we're going now for the engine start demonstration here. So the overhead panel, we're gonna have it, the cockpit view, nicer cockpit view. So you can see here we have the hydraulic fluid disconnect for maintenance, the circuit breakers. You can see the circuit breaker systems here. We have the overhead panel, the electric system. So you can see we can turn on the APU now if we need this to start the engine. We have the ADU, the dynamics reference unit, I will explain later. We have the electric left engine, right engine, electric generators, the backup generators, the battery. This is all the electric. This is all the hydraulic left and right engine, the rammer turbine, the passenger oxygen, the electronic engine control for the engine left and right, and the auto start system, the cargo fire extinguishers and APU, also the fuel jettison, left and right wing fuel tank, center tank, fuel booster pumps, crossfit valves, wing and engine anti-ice, cabin pressurization and pressurizer from the left and right engine, also from the APU. So this is a simple view diagram. I will show you what happens if we turn off this simple thing here, switching off the hydraulic system. So if we turn off all the hydraulic pumps, you will see the fog coming up, some warnings, and we're gonna have the fog here. We're gonna have alternate flaps. As you can see, we can move the flaps up, I believe, 25, 20. So we're gonna have all the systems now popping up that failed: stabilizer, hydraulic pressure, LCNR, flaps, primary, auto brake, no auto spoilers, auto speed brakes. So many systems are lost. We have alternate flaps also. So reset that back to the on. So we need also the fire extinguishers, electronic engine control. You can see here normal and alternate mode. Also the auto start, left and right engine on and off. So we need this to be on. The fuel jettison, arm this and dump some fuel. Select the nozzles and how much fuel to remain. Crossfeed valves, balance the fuel between the left and right wing. Center tank is empty, left wing and right wing, fuel tank. Wing and engine are the ice here. Cabin pressurization, manual, we use the outflow valves, open or close when we climb the descent. Select the landing outing. We now have it in the auto. So we have the bleeder from the left and right engine. The APU, we need to start the engine, so I'm gonna show you what happens if we close the bleeder, the pressurizer. Maybe we're gonna have some warnings. If we have the APU, maybe we won't. We turn on back this, the pressurizer. So this is all the systems of the overhead panel. I'm gonna show you also the CDU here. So the CDU very important. So we're gonna have the menu here, display. You can see the engines, the systems here, display. So we have the engine status. You can see the APU is running, hydraulic, the oxygen level, the checklist, the more normal menu, resets, no normal menu. If we have a failure of a system, resets, so normal menu, communications, navigation, synoptics. You can see the doors are closed and the cabin can pressurize. The ladder gear, you can see the temperature of the brakes and the pressure of the tires. The electric I showed you in the overhead panel. The voltage here of the batteries, how many volts you have, left and right main or APU. Left and right engine IDG. The APU also is working. The backup generators, you can see the flow of the current, 120 to 200 volts, 120,000 kilovolts, 400 Hz frequency alternate current. 28 volts from the batteries. Also this is the hydraulic left and right engine, 3000 psi. The backup electric C1 and C2, primary and shut-off valve. Where hydraulic fluid goes, you can see the fuel system, the left and right wing, fuel tank, how much fuel you have in each tank and the total. You can see the minimum fuel temperature here below, which the fuel will freeze, minus 37 degrees. You can see the forward and the aft crossfeed valves are open, and the forward fuel booster pumps also, they feed the left and the right engine. The low and high pressure fuel valves are open. The crossfeed valves balance the fuel between the left and right wing, or it can be used when we have a failure. The APU also is used, it's fed from the left wing using the DC motor. You can see the yellow crosses, there is no fuel in the center. You can see the left and the right wing, the pressurizer, the APU. We need the APU pressurizer to backflow into the engine starter to start the engine. Also the air conditioning ventilation, so we increase the thrust. Here you will see over here the duct pressure. And the last system, the flight controls. So this is the last system. We need to look out here. You can see the flight controls are moving freely, both sides. So we can go now for the engine start. We have full flight control movement. Everything is working fine. The stabilizer trim also. So the engines, we're going for the engine start. Here both left and right fuel cutout switch to be off. We have the auto start on, some electric reset. You will see engine auto start left and right on, and also engine shut down. We have the engine shutting down this message. So you'll see here both engines shut down now, the right and the left, both engines. So you can see there is a pressurizer from the engine's pressure. So we need to start both. We turn on both fuel flow on, fuel cutout switch. You can see there is no fuel flow yet. It will take like a couple of seconds. So we have the initiation of the engine start, the right and the left. You can see we have the spinning. So we can go now for the takeoff. This is the last step completed. We only need, we have the flight plan ready, so we advance. The flaps are set, the stabilizer trim is up, so we advance the thrust levers, take the flight, their traffic control clearance. And we advance for the runway. We have opened the runway for us, so we advance for the runway. So we are here. With steer, align, and here we are. We have the LNAV, everything is ready. You can see where we are. We're departing runway here. So we have this view for departure. We're gonna advance the thrust levers forward, maximum takeoff, and disarm the parking brakes and go. So we have full takeoff thrust set, 80 knots, 100 knots, V1, we rotate. So we rotate slightly like this. So we have the positive rate of climb like this, as you can see. Landing gear up. So you can see here we are 1,900, 2,000 feet above the ground level, 2,400 above the ground, but 4,000 above the sea level. So we have difference. The airspeed is 250 knots. We climb with 7,000, 6,500 feet per minute. We can see the terrain here, the pitch altitude, the airspeed commanded, and the altitude. Also the stall speed here. You need to pay attention, the terrain in front of you. So we need to start turning now. Over here, as you can see. So we need to start, and we have a few more minutes to go for this flight. So this is gonna be an easy flight. We're gonna use the maximum takeoff thrust like this. The pitch attitude of the aircraft also. You can see the thrust now are commanded here. And we have the flight plan also. You can see here the stall speed of the aircraft, the airspeed. We need to increase the airspeed here. So we're gonna have here the first waypoint. So we keep cruising like this. We need to avoid the stall speed. So we decrease the rate of climb a little bit. So this is the main view outside, and we have more than 20 minutes left for the video to end. So you can see the nicer view here. We fly with about 500 kilometers an hour right now. So I hope you like the Boeing 777-300ER, one of the most beautiful airliners here. As you can see, one of the most beautiful airliners. Also the beautiful view that we have here from the Switzerland in the Zurich. The star sign also, the galaxies here. So neat also. To make the turn now for the waypoints here for the flight plan. So we climb, and you can see the airspeed 195, 18,700 feet. We keep climbing with 5,000 feet per minute. The stall speed here about 140 knots. We need to avoid the stall speed. We need to change our heading here to the next waypoint. So we need to navigate here to the waypoint. We need to cross. You can see the first waypoint, how far away it is. You can see this angle, this arc that moves forward. The nav represents our initial climb point. So maybe we need to retract the flaps like this to increase the airspeed. So you can see the flight director here, this tick mark as we cross it. The next waypoint line we have to be overflying. And we have 18 more minutes for this video to end. So we keep climbing. 33,600 feet now, as you can see. All the information we have it here. So now we have the chemtrails here and the contrails. The frozen vapors as the aircraft now flies like 600 kilometers an hour or 250 meters per second. The chemtrails and the contrails, the frozen vapors, as you can see, and the lake here is Switzerland, the Germany in front of you, the Bayern Munich region, and the France on this side. So we have the Switzerland here, the lake, frozen vapors. So this is the spacecraft view of the Boeing 777-300ER, 24,500 meters feet above the sea level. It's fine. We're gonna retract all the flaps now. We're gonna have the airspeed set now. The flight level change in the airspeed. So we're gonna cruise for a while. For a couple of seconds we're gonna cruise manually. Beautiful cruise, flying straight and level manually, as you can see. Ready for 5,300 feet. So awesome. You can see the frozen vapors. We need to start coming back home now, making the turn. So we overshoot the Germany, the Bayern Munich, and the France area. And we're coming back manually. Keep overflying. Also, we're gonna use more airspeed now. We increase the airspeed component to 335 knots or 190 kilometers an hour. So you will see the thrust levers increase automatically here in the airspeed. We're trying to keep some flying altitude here manually. So here we are with cruising 35,300 feet. We are flying the Bayern Munich, the Germany, and the lake. So this is the beautiful view of the Boeing 777-300ER, as you can see. Flying 35,300 feet, 34,700 now, so we need to pitch up a little bit. So this is the spacecraft at night, the Boeing 777-300ER. Switch to the Switzerland now. We need to balance here, level up a little bit. So we need to pitch string down a little bit when we are above cruise altitude and balance here. 35,300 balance manually. We fly with Mach 0.762 or 380 knots, 18 knots, or 980 kilometers an hour, or 980 kilometers an hour or 300 meters per second. Overflying here the Switzerland and 35,300 feet, and we need to go back to the airport. We'll keep cruising manually. Also we can connect the autopilot now if you like, at least. So you'll see the autopilot connected now. And now we're cruising with the autopilot on, and we're going back to the airport. So we have to cruise through these waypoints. So we have also so we're cruising through these waypoints. the cruise using the autopilot and flight director system panel. A beautiful view of the Boeing 777-300 ER, as you can see. Boeing 777-300 ER as we're coming back home now. It's 5,300 feet, and then we're gonna start descent now. So we are very close. We need to decrease the airspeed a little bit, and now the altitude we need to descend. So we start the descent. Maybe we need to decrease the airspeed command like that. So you can see as we're descending, we have also this beautiful galactic view. 34,300 feet. So you can see how we cruise with the autopilot on, and we have also to use the speed brakes now, extended, slow down the aircraft. Gonna use those lesser speed. We have the area speed warning now. So you can see our speed is decreasing. We have Mach 0.735. Still very fast. We're descending. Quite accurately in the waypoints for the approach. So this is the approach and landing procedure here. We have the engines are idle, speed brakes extended. We need to set also the airspeed is gonna decrease a little bit more. Keep descending. 333 knots right now, quite fast. So we need also to extend perhaps the navigation will slow us down. Keep having the autopilot on. So we'll look at and we need like 6 more minutes to arrive to the airport. 12,000 feet. Keep descending. It's on the autopilot now. Maybe we could extend the flight path. To descend also use some Flught. We descend. We have the airport this way. So we keep descending here, as you can see. And making the turn like this. So we are aligned now almost with the Lszh localizer, and we need like 6 more minutes. We need to follow the Lszh localizer approach over here. Also decrease the airspeed further. And use a few more flaps later as we descend. So we have the capsule of the Lszh localizer here. So you can see the view of the cockpit now. We keep using manual and automatic thrust. The airspeed set over here for the approach, and we have the initial configuration of the aircraft for approach over here and landing. So we're gonna have also the view. Σε 6 λεπτά φεύγω ακριβώς. Σε 6 λεπτά. Όχι, κλείσει την πόρτα, μόνο σε 6 λεπτά έχω φύγει.
Μην αργήσει το λεπτό θέμα.
Όχι, να σου λέω.
Άντε κάσω το φάκελ το κομπιούτερ και
5 λεπτά είναι.
μια δουλειά με το κομπιούτερ άστο μεγάλο.
5 λεπτά είναι. So we are approaching now. Okay. So we are approaching in a safe airspeed now. We have the Lszh localizer. Here you can see the airspeed, the altitude above the runway. So we use full flaps now. Also this is gonna help us decrease the airspeed. So here we are. The Lszh localizer, the airspeed you can see here, the thrust manual, and we have full flight controls here manually. So we may keep descending. Also use the rudder pedals as we have some side wing to pushing us to the side, the side wing component. So we need to align with the runway as we descend. So here we go, approach and landing, 200, 50, 30, 10, here we are, just touchdown, very beautiful touchdown, reverse thrust, and parking brakes and reverse thrust. We made a very beautiful landing, reverse thrust, and we slow it down very safe, very accurate, as you can see. So we did an excellent, as you can see, maybe one of the best landings ever with this aircraft on the runway. We had some side wing, so you can see here the nose wheel, you can see the landing gear, all the tires are safe, there's no breakouts. Also the nose wheel here, it's safe, absolutely. The tires over here, the nose wheel and the landing gear. So you can see the aircraft is standing up the way it should be in the runway. It's absolutely fantastic. The nose wheel, all the tires. So the nose wheel is very nice to detail. to see both all the landing gears here and the nose wheel are beautiful. There is no breakage, as you can see in the metal part of the nose wheel, and the aircraft is starting up the way it should be in the runway. So we did a beautiful landing like this. So I'm gonna show you now a little bit more inside. So with the sun, the other form. So you can see again now the cockpit, everything is safe. We can taxi over here to the runway. So that was Thomas Hatsios, the German maker, pilot flying the Boeing 777-300 GR 89th flight. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next flight. Bye bye. Bye. So let me start taxiing now, as you can see. Taxi off the runway, parking brakes off. So we need to taxi off the runway like this to the gates. So we're taxiing to the gates now.